Si Benigno Aquino III.
There were many firsts for the Philippines during the Aquino administration. On the first half of Aquino's term, the Philippines won its first investment grade ratings from Fitch, which meant the government put its finances so well, enough to convince investors to lend cheaply, benefiting borrowers like you and me in the form of cheaper housing and car loans. From the so-called sick man of Asia, investors were betting on the Philippines as the rising tiger, the darling of Asia. It was also the first time that policymakers crafted a long-term vision. Because in the past, since a president could rule for only 6 years, the criticism has always been there's lack of continuity in reforms. But Aquino's team crafted a policy that envisions the Philippines without any poor Filipino left behind by 2040. An ambition that Aquino believed his successors would sustain even long after he ended his term. Aquino's finance minister, Cesar Purisima, remembers how the late president made some decisions even if they had direct repercussions against him. Aquino was a known chain smoker, but he pushed for the controversial sin tax law, which raised the sales tax on cigarettes and alcohol. The sin tax law was crucial to the Philippines getting that investment grade rating and cutting national debt.
When we make decisions to borrow money, he took it as a personal decision that we're actually borrowing money, and we better be sure that we know what we're going to use it for, and we're going to get the best return for those investments so that we can look the people in the eye.
How do you convince them we need this? Even if you're a chain smoker.
Even though he's a smoker, and in fact during the meetings he would take smoking breaks, right? Everyone knew that, but he looked at the statistics, and when he saw the statistics, especially the number of Filipinos smoking, the number of young kids smoking, he really believed that this was a health issue that needed to be addressed.
For former Agrarian Reform Secretary Gil de los Reyes, Aquino was a haciendero, a landlord who still pushed for land reforms, making him unpopular to his own family, the Cojuangco clan.
I was a Secretary for Agrarian Reform. His family owned one of the largest haciendas in the entire country. But never, not one moment did I ever feel that any of his directions were to favor his family. His words to me are always follow the rule of law. That's one of the traits of President Noynoy that we should never forget.
Aquino's rule was not free from criticisms because he fiercely fought corruption by ensuring all government contracts are clean. His so-called PPP, or Public-Private Partnership Program, was lambasted because of delays. But it's that same good governance agenda that made the Philippines look good in the eyes of investors.
President Aquino walked his talk, and his heart was in the right place. And it was easy to work with him because he had a very clear moral compass.
Lois Calderon, CNN Philippines.